Let's check the news. Nathan Cohn's in the news studio this morning.
Thank you very much, John, and good morning, everyone, except for Texas fans. Jumping straight into it here, District 11 Representative Brian Best says the Iowa House Transportation Committee is putting together a new bill potentially easing restrictions on current school driving permits. Under this new legislation, the school and farm work permit would be combined into one new minor's driving license instead of two separate driving permits. Students who are not yet 16 years old but have completed driver's education would qualify for the permit, allowing them to drive unaccompanied by a fully licensed guardian to and from school, extracurricular activities, work, as well as service stations. A student with this permit would be able to drive 25 miles away and would be allotted an hour before and after their respective events to drive, but not after that specific time frame. The new driving privileges would allow students to drive to a non-farm job and have 3 residences instead of just one they can drive themselves to. Parents and guardians of the student would have to submit written consent to the Department of Transportation for approval of the work and residence locations before the student can drive unsupervised. Concerns are being raised by opponents about this new legislation over concerns that giving teen drivers more independence could potentially increase the risk of accidents for themselves and others driving on the road. Harsher penalties, if the bill is passed, would be enforced on those who violate the rules to ensure teens are following the stricter restrictions. Those in violation would lose their permit for 3 months and have to wait an additional 3 months before being able to apply for their intermediate driver's license as normal at age 16. The bill is still being worked on by a subcommittee and is set to be considered by a full committee before the deadline on February 15th. The Carroll County Cattlemen's Association is excited to announce a new program to help local youth start their careers in livestock production. Brett Grave with the association says it's an aggressive initiative to reduce barriers young people face when starting their herds.
New for this year, what we're going to call the Beef Builders Program. It's going to be for a young individual or a few individuals. We haven't decided yet, but basically it's going to be a $7,500 interest-free loan to start a beef herd, whether they want to do it with a breeding cattle or market animal. They can do that, and it's basically 5 years interest-free to get them started.
The Beef Builders program was developed in response to declining applications for the Cattlemen's annual scholarships and fewer young people joining the industry. It isn't a lack of interest in raising beef that's the problem, though. Cody Erickson says the high financial barrier to entry is holding entrepreneurial youth back from taking their first steps into becoming a cattleman.
There's kids out here that want to be involved, but they don't have the finances to do it, nor maybe their parents have the finances to help that kid out, So we're just kind of here to help hopefully get somebody's dream started and keep it building in their right direction.
Graves says the application criteria are quite easy to meet for those interested in participating in the new program.
Basically, the qualifications are 12 to 25 years of age, so there's a lot of individuals out there that could probably use it.
Applications are tentatively scheduled to open during the Carroll County Cattlemen's annual banquet on February 24th, and they'll close on June 1st. The winner or winners are expected to be announced sometime this summer. Erickson and Graves say they expect the Beef Builders program to be highly competitive, and they look forward to its impact on the local beef community. And the Carroll City Council's second budget work session is planned for tonight. The council will convene at 5:15 p.m. at Carroll City Hall to review what staff have prepared so far for the fiscal year 2025 budget. On Monday evening, the council heard from Carroll Police Chief Brad Burke and Public Works Director Randy Kral regarding their respective departments' proposed budgets, and Finance Director Laura Schaefer also provided a breakdown of current fund balances. Officials anticipate estimated expenditures, including transfers, of just over $30 million in FY25. The proposed total levy at this time for FY25 is expected to decrease slightly from the current year, from $12.16844 per $1,000 of taxable assessed valuation to $12.16046. Wednesday's work session is open to the public and will be live streamed via the City of Carroll YouTube channel. Links to the agenda, video, and 298-page preliminary budget are included with this story on our website. And that is going to be wrapping up your Look At News here on KCIM. I'm Nathan Cohns reporting.
Yeah, that Beef Builders program that Brett Grieve and Cody Erickson stopped by yesterday to talk about is tremendous. I mean, we're talking a student as young as 12. If they want to kind of get in the beef business and entrepreneurship, of course, they've got to have mentors, their parents helping out and things like that. But, boy, what a way to start out.
Yeah, it's something that's come up a lot in discussions. We have not necessarily covered it directly, but starting a business is not just more financially challenging than it was, say, 30, 40, 50 years ago. The risks associated with it are much higher in terms of entrepreneurship's always been inherently risky, right? But it's pretty tough for a young person. I guess we did cover it a bit, talking about like new young farmers. If you're an 18, 19-year-old person looking to get into farming, the barrier to entry is like $2.5 million between equipment and land. And so some of that carries over into the livestock side of things and really anywhere. Capital is expensive nowadays. So very cool program. Looking to see how many applicants they get. I expect that to be very popular.
I think it would be too. I mean, we're talking like 2, 3, 4 head of cattle just kind of start out with, and that's an interest-free loan. So, boy, I tell you what, terrific stuff. Find out more about it if you've got a young person that you know, your students, your grandkids, whatever. If they're interested in the beef industry, check into that. It's really good stuff. Thanks for the news update, Nathan. Once again, we'll check back in and for more Texas hate a little bit later on this morning for you. We've got to look at the weather forecast. That's on the way next from KCIM Carroll.